Could Murrayfield be where France's party gets spoiled?
Ooh.
Well, if it's our year, then it needs to be.
Is it?
Oh, year for what?
Is it your year?
I don't know if it's our year.
Yeah, it is.
Could be.
Well, if
Second
it
in
is
the
our
table?
year, we need to beat France. And they are a team that we have been very competitive with over the last couple of years. A team that Scotland aren't necessarily afraid of. First versus second, which is cool.
Can you believe that?
It is kind of crazy to think that.
Fucking outrageous.
How does that make you feel?
If it does make me feel happy, it does.
Yeah.
And this is the one, obviously, right? This is, for me, Scotland's biggest ever game in the Six Nations because of the ramifications around it.
We want
The
them
one
to
thing
be
that I'm
as
pinning
well.
my hope on is the fact that France haven't been tested yet. And they haven't had to go deep into the mental psyche. The conditions have been really well suited to how France want to play, with the stadium being closed in Wales and their last game against Italy in Lille. And look at me hoping for rain, you know. But I'm hoping that that part of it is potentially a leveller. I've seen that Scotland can get to that level physically, and how Gregor makes the team up. I saw it against New Zealand. Saw it 50 minutes against Argentina, saw it against England. So I know that a performance is in us to do it. I also am hoping that they got a bit of a wobble in Wales, knowing that they're not at that level. If they're not at that level that they were against England, then the potential is there to lose. There's a week off to get some bodies patched up. But this French team, as we've all seen, doesn't take an expert to look back at it and look at their performances. They are incredible. They are absolutely a joy to watch. One small crack in their team potentially around scrum. Scotland's scrum isn't great, but the way that they play rugby, their ability at the line, the offloading, the fact that Anton Dupont is now back to his very best. Thomas Ramos plays 10, carves up. Jalibert comes back, carves up. Is Intermac going to be fit? Who knows?
Yeah.
But the list is endless of the quality of players, whether or not there's these youngsters coming through that we've not heard of. Fabien, what's his? Barboret.
Brauboirie. Brauboirie, yeah.
Fabien
Amazing.
Fabien Brauboret at 12. Didn't it?
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Noah Nene, Gael Dryan.
There you go.
I mean,
So
you
know
have
some
so many guys.
You taught them up before.
Yeah.
So if you were to base it solely on what we've seen from France and what we've seen from Scotland, France are going in favourites. Odds on the draw are pretty good though. Is it 25 to 1?
Ooh, good shout. Get it out there, brother. Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. But is it a game we can win? I do. I don't go into that thinking this is impossible, which is a good place to be. But maybe I'm blinded by love and bias.
I kind of agree with Jim. I think styles make fights, as they say, and Scotland match up well against France in terms of the shapes and how they like to both attack. And I just think France potentially too many threats and too powerful. I don't think they got out of third gear really against Wales, and they still, made it seem like a training session. I think when this French team gets really tested and turns it on, I think they're up there with South Africa and, streaks ahead of everyone else. So it just depends to an extent which Scotland shows up, if they're able to stick in there with them. Yeah. But I just see too many threats, too many players in form, and they want that Grand Slam decider against England in Stade de France. So it's going to be a cracker. But I'd be definitely leaning towards France.
There's a different feel to the French team to the one that we've seen the last few years with the younger players coming, like I said. But you look at the results, 4 points last year. I know France won. That was the difference. 3 points the year before and 4 points the year before that. So they are a team that Scotland can play
they match
well
up
against,
well.
and they can score, they match up well, like you said. And that's what I'm holding on.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like you're talking about wanting a bit of rain. Finn Russell, who's the main man for Scotland, wouldn't want that at all, would he?
No.
I wouldn't say rain. I'd say cold.
Oh, just cold.
Yeah,
Really
that's
cold.
the word.
Yeah.
They have no interest in the cold.
No,
Yeah.
They hate the cold.
Well, we saw that to Toulouse, Glasgow.
Yeah.
That was rain
Hate
as
the
well,
cold.
wasn't it?
Yeah, no, cold though.
But it is for everyone watching it, it's in Scotland's hands now. You beat France and then you can beat Ireland. You are obviously up there and potentially win it, dependent on bonus points
Triple
or whatever.
crown as
So,
well.
for Scotland, it's the defining game of the Six Nations.
But we also,
Massive,
from an Irish perspective, we do want Scotland to beat France.
Yeah.
Gregor's never beaten Ireland, has he?
No.
No.
Never beaten Ireland.
Gregor Townsend has never
No, he
been.
has.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
When?
they haven't.
2017.
I don't think Scotland have
don't
won
think he
in
has.
Dublin anyway since 2010. So if you were to look at the win records,
In the Six
it's just a
Nations.
lot.
Scotland have a far better chance of beating France than they would of Ireland, I think, in Dublin.
I'd love to see Scotland compete and have a real dig. And it is their kind of seminal moment around: are they a mid-table team or are they competing at the top table? This France team, from the 3 games that we've seen them play, you don't really see a weakness. We haven't even mentioned Louis Biel-Beret, who is going to be their record try scorer at some point. His record, I think he's got 12 tries in 13 Six Nations games or something crazy like that. And they've got threats everywhere. Miafu in the second row got man of the match against Italy, just an absolute unit. They've got every which way they want to play. And Scotland have got threats. Scotland are dangerous. It's the high, the low, the high, the low for them. The low against Italy, the high against England, the lower-ish against Wales. And I've got no doubt they'll be bang up for it. You go back to a couple of years ago when Scotland should have beaten France, and it's a very different French team at the minute. The culture, I think, is very different and unbelievable there now in terms of wanting to defend,
Much
wanting
more
to say disciplines. And then it should be a tough day for Scotland, but where there's a will, there's a way. And there's hope. There's hope. I want my good friend finally to say this is our year.
And Zebo just laughs
believe
a lot.
it.
So when you say that, that's what it is.
So yeah, I think France by 10, but it'll be a belter of a game.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be there.
Yeah,
That's gonna be so
absolutely.
exciting.
Oh, yes.